Hi, this is Jill with PhocusWire, and I'm here today with Dr. Kris Naudts of Culture Trip. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Have you been enjoying the conference so far?
I have. It's been wonderful.
Great.
Thank you.
So for our viewers who might not be familiar with Culture Trip, what's Culture Trip?
We're a startup, and we work in media and entertainment, but also in travel, of course, combining those two industries. And we tell stories about what makes a place special and unique, what makes its people and its culture special and unique. And we do that with articles, videos, photos, animation, any sort of creative way of telling the story of a place.
And you started off as a bookstore?
Yeah, that now seems a long time ago, and that was essentially a bad idea. We then started to make content and stories around these books and films. And then people have started to come in really high numbers. As you will know, there's now nearly 20 million people a month that come to check it out. We had 2 billion views on our videos, so can't complain.
Okay, great. And you had mentioned we did a big chair article with you on PhocusWire a while ago, and you talked about your plans for also becoming an online travel agency. Where are you at with that, and how has that been coming along?
Yeah, so for us, we are at the top of the funnel, so to speak, where people first think of travel, or even when they don't know to travel. I mean, we inspire people, and that we think we do really well. So on the back of that intent to travel, we think we can offer transactional capabilities, which we today do via affiliates and partnerships. And the more and the better we can measure the intent, the more of that we can bring in-house. Still early days.
Still early days, okay.
But I think
because I think you initially said by the end of this year, or that it would be
ready.
Yeah,
maybe. I mean, we've never really properly stuck to a deadline because we want to get this right. There's a lot of people in this space. We need to do it right, otherwise there's no point doing it.
What have been the biggest challenges that you've come across while trying to build an OTA?
Nothing too meaningful, I would say. I mean, or substantial in terms of unovercomable hurdles. You need to assemble your team. I think we hired Andy Washington, the former MD of Expedia in Northern Europe. So that was obviously instrumental because we didn't have that knowledge in-house. He's been building an amazing team. And now they are interacting with the engineers and with the creatives in the company, and things are going well, really. I have nothing, I can't make up a hurdle if there wasn't one. Yeah.
Well, I think what also helped was that big funding round you got in April.
Yeah, funding helps.
For 80 million, was it?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what else have you been using those funds for, and what has it allowed you to do?
Yeah, so it has allowed us to signal, I think, to the industry that we're serious and that we're going to be around. We spent that money to recruitment of the OTA team, but also a big increase in engineering talent. Engineering talent being expensive, very competitive. And in general, diversification of creative content. So we now make longer form series like Hunger Lust that you may have seen. The series all about food and culture that we partnered with Snapchat over.
Okay.
So lots of exciting stuff actually is what it essentially allows us to do.
Have you been doing more on the personalization front to get
a little bit. I mean, personalization is super interesting, and is also something that the investment community is very excited about.
Yes.
For us. Why? Because we have all the verticals, right? People just tend to use it for travel, but we have all the verticals: food, design, architecture. So we can probably make recommendations to you in one vertical on the basis of your preferences in other verticals. Nobody can really do that today.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
Great. One thing you've talked about before too is this concept of tech-enabled creativity. So what is that, and how is it important to Culture Trip?
Yeah, it's very important. So data, of course, and technology cannot substitute creativity. It would be folly to even attempt, but it can guide it, it can support it. So I'll give you an example of that. If you wanted to write an article, for example, on say 6th Avenue in New York versus 7th Avenue, we can see from our data which avenue our users are most interested in on the one hand, and on the other hand we can see from Google searches which one is the more searched for avenue. So then you can guide your efforts of your creatives towards writing something to do with the 7th Avenue as opposed to the 6th. And these differences are stark, you'd be surprised. You can have difference of a factor of 10,000 in terms of volume of searches for one avenue over the other.
Oh wow, interesting,
it's quite intense. So yeah, that's one way in which we do that. And there's other ways. There's certain aspects of the creative industry in particular that haven't really been, I would say, properly touched by AI or machine learning. Like, as you will know, things like copy editing or picture research hasn't changed for 20 years. So there's a lot of stuff we can do there.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, so as a content site then, so a lot of what we're focusing on Phocuswright here is this power paradox, and big players versus small players, how they work against and with each other. Where does a content site like Culture Trip fit in with this power struggle?
Yeah, really good question. So I think there's two power struggles going on, in my opinion, in travel. One is at the tip of the funnel where all the conversion sits. And there are clear winners in that tip, like Airbnb or Booking.com, or they are really ahead of the competition. And then there's the entrants that offer experiences, like Klook and Get Your Guide, that get a lot of funding. So there's a good power battle going on there. At the top, it's very crowded, but people are not even battling. People seem already like surrendered.
Yeah, that's a nice way to put it.
Yeah, it is true, right? And we come in there with such a high degree of enthusiasm and zeal that we feel very well placed to challenge the power paradox there, if there is one. Yeah, and I think in general the travel industry has been very kind and receptive to us. People seem to welcome something new, in the way we do our stuff seem to be well received.
Yeah, definitely. Great. So let's wrap this up with what your travel predictions are for the next year. What travel trends are we going to see in 2019?
I think wellness, right? Wellness is going to be big. Wellness is going to be big from every single direction of the globe, in every single direction, essentially. So people from the West will continue to seek out, particularly millennials, wellness experiences, and I foresee the same coming from the East, coming West or stay in the East, but wellness is a big trend we see. Veganism is a big trend we see. They go together in many ways.
I see that, for sure. Awesome.
So,
Great. Well, thank you so
Good
much.
stuff. No, thank you for having me.
Thanks.